Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today we are talking about Google Maps reviews in Delhi, India. So if you weren't aware, Delhi is the largest city in India, which is the most populous country in the world. And in this one metro area, 34 million people make their home. So just to be clear, 10% of the United States population is living in one city in India. There's a lot of restaurants in Delhi. In fact, I just Googled it and the estimate is there are 120,000 restaurants in this one city in Delhi. And so there's bound to be some good, funny Google Maps reviews. This is not even going to come close to scratching the surface of the gold mine that is Delhi Google Maps reviews. But we got to start somewhere. The journey of 120,000 restaurants starts with a single review. Write that down. We're going to start with a restaurant called Amritsari Chur Naan. So here at Amritsari Chur Naan, our friend Artie says this: 1 star. Taste is not good and very bad food. And next day, I am not well. It's the classic triple whammy. This is probably what you expected clicking on this video. Food doesn't taste good, really bad, feel awful. Of course, Delhi belly is a real thing from travel vloggers that I've seen that go there. I don't know why, as a travel vlogger, you would ever go somewhere like Delhi. Feels very crowded for me. I like, personally, to be alone all the time. I would prefer to be alone 23 hours of the day, probably. The problem is that one dang hour that I still want human interaction. That's what really gets me. So you might not be surprised that food poisoning exists in India. In fact, we've got one more review that deals with just that. And the one more food poisoning review we have comes from Chawla de Mashoor Special Naan. That's Chawla de Mashoor Special Naan. And our buddy Manish says this: 1 star. Never eat here. Had severe food poisoning and was admitted in the hospital for 2 days. You just go out looking innocently for some naan. You stumble into Chawla de Mashoor Special Naan. You're like, this is going to be special. You order the naan. You eat the naan. You get so sick, you're in the hospital for 2 days. And you realize very quickly that instead of eating all of the naan, you should have eaten none of it. You should have eaten none of it. Okay, but listen, this whole video is not going to just be people who got food poisoning. That is like the baseline level of bad review on Google Maps. It doesn't just happen in Delhi, it happens everywhere around the world. There are much more interesting reviews that don't have anything to do with food poisoning. For example, there is a restaurant called Ministry of Cakes. Do you understand how cool that is? This is a restaurant in Delhi that it's like this is a government office that has been set up by the Delhi government. And the job of this ministry of the government is to distribute cakes to the people. This is the Ministry of Cakes. And it came as a big surprise to me that anybody would have anything bad to say about a place called Ministry of Cakes. But alas, our boy Danish says this about the Ministry of Cakes: 1 star. I hate this place. It's an incredibly strong negative reaction to something that is so incredibly positive and a force for good in the world. What did the Ministry of Cakes do to you, Danish? Did they just give you one too many cakes? Is that the problem you have with this place? Do you just hate joy, Danish? Do you just hate people having fun? Do you just hate love? Don't mess with the Ministry of Cakes, or they will send the secret Ministry of Cakes police to knock on your door. And what will they do when you open the door? They're going to give you another cake. I found a weird amount of omelette shops in Delhi. I don't know if this is a trend in India, but I found a lot of omelette shops. So this first one is called Khan Omelette Corner. And at Khan Omelette Corner, our friend Hitesh had a 1-star experience, and here's what he said. Had Khan special, or we can say it butter, cheese, butter, more cheese, and more butter. It was not an omelet. No taste, only oil everywhere. After eating it, you really have to walk for at least 1 hour in order to get rid of that oil that is stuck in your gut. And yes, owner was rude. It's better to give it a miss. Personally, and this is just a personal opinion, but I hate when I get oil stuck to my gut. And to Hitesh's point, the only way to get oil unstuck in your gut is to walk for at least an hour. Many people have chronic health conditions that they live with that are depriving them of the joys of normal life. And what a lot of them don't realize is this is because there is oil stuck in your gut. And you need to get the oil unstuck in your gut. And it's very simple. You just need to go outside and walk for 1 hour, and then all of your chronic conditions will magically disappear, and you'll be healthy. And I don't want to make any overreaching promises here, but you will probably live forever. Found another great restaurant. It's called the Amul Ice Cream Confectionary. This is like an ice cream lab. It's a shrine dedicated to ice cream. Okay, this is a confectionery. This isn't just a creamery. This isn't Dairy Queen Grill and Chill. This is an ice cream confectionary. They mean business here. Pratham says this, 5 stars. My Google map is not working, GPS signal lost. Unfortunately for Pratham, his Google Maps was working very well. And when he thought he was like communicating with Google support, he was actually posting a review of the Amul Ice Cream Confectionary. And he gave it 5 stars. Now, if you're this business owner, you could complain that this review has nothing to do with your restaurant. But here's the deal. It's a 5-star review. I love this review. I love that Pratham has no idea that he's done this. It has been up for 3 years. He has no idea. And the Amul Ice Cream Confectionary, weird reviews don't end there. And so here's a 1-star review of this same confectionery. And it's from our boy AK. AK says this, 1 star. Amdiha Beduwal. I do not know what this means. Google usually translates these things. If you know what this means, please let me know in the comments below. He then attaches this selfie. AK looks like he is looking into the deepest, darkest secret of the universe, and that he has discovered something that is going to change the history of time. He looks deeply disturbed and haunted by something that he has seen that we just can't see right now. AK, whatever you have discovered at this confectionery, please give it to somebody trusted. Throw it into the depths of the ocean. Don't let it reach the public, because it looks like, with the look in your eyes, if whatever you're seeing gets out, the world will likely end. Looks like it already put AK's friend in the background in some kind of trance. So again, AK, whatever you've discovered, throw it into the ocean. Burn it. Don't let anybody else discover this. Next up, the Shah Ji Bakery. That's the Shah Ji Bakery. Mohammed says this, 4 stars. Bakery product are very best and tasteful. High praise. I don't know why, if they're the very best in the world, you only gave it 4 stars. But then Muhammad attaches this image. Love is you. What does this have to do with the bakery? I don't know, but I'm thankful that Muhammad posted it. One thing I want to note in this review is I usually try to keep reviewers pretty anonymous, and so I'll usually just say their first name in hopes that they won't be located, in hopes that they won't be harassed given the millions and millions of views that my videos usually get. But anyway, I recognize that in saying this specific first name, Muhammad, I have basically given away who it is that posted this review, because there's only like 2 or 3 Muhammads in the entire world. And so to say Muhammad posted this, I recognize that I'm compromising his anonymity, and I would like to address Muhammad now. Muhammad, I am sorry. Your name is just so specific and so unused in most of the world that if people figure out who you are, you might become famous because of this. And I didn't intend that, and I am sorry, but it's because your name is so uncommon in the world. Next up, Haji Sharif Tandori Fish and Chicken. That's Haji Sharif Tandori Fish and Chicken. Amir says this, 2 stars. What is special is that it is just tandoori. It is thirsty. It is adding too much fry item. It is unhygienic for health. It uses old oil. But it changes our taste. This food, which is thirsty and just normal tandoori, that is using way too much oil, and the oil is very old. This unhygienic for health tandoori fish and chicken is affecting Amir on a very deep level. It changes his taste. Finally, we have Zaika Restaurant. Zaika Restaurant. Shabazz says this. 1 star. Hotel is not at located location. Well, Shabazz, you are commenting on a restaurant. And so if you thought that this restaurant was a hotel, this is not the located location of the hotel. This is a restaurant. So restaurant, you eat in. Hotel, you sleep in. Generally speaking, located location of a hotel is different than located location of a restaurant. Thank you so much. If you're still watching this, I love you more than India loves adding people to the population of Delhi. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you so much. See you next Friday.